Hello everyone. Welcome to the third part of metals and non-metals. Today we shall learn how metals are extracted from their ores. Let us start with the occurrence of metals. Metals are found to occur in native or combined state. In nature, metals either present in free state or in combined state. Free state is also called native state or elemental state. Some metals like gold, platinum, silver, copper are found in free state. Remember students, copper, mercury and silver are not only found in free state but they also exist as combined state. That is in the form of sulfides or oxides. Moderate reactive metals like zinc, iron, lead, etc. are found in combined state as oxides, sulfides, or carbonates. Highly reactive metals like potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, etc. are never found in free state but are always found in combined state as oxides, carbonates, sulfides, halides, etc. Sources. Major source of metal is the earth crust. Some metals which form soluble salts are also found in seawater like sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, etc. Minerals. Elements or compounds which occur naturally in the earth crust are called minerals. Ores, minerals which contain a very high percentage of a particular metal and the metal can be profitably and economically extracted from it. Such minerals are called ores. Ores of many metals are oxides because oxygen is very reactive and abundant. All ores are minerals, but all minerals are not ores. Let us see some common metals and their ores. You can see some of the examples are quoted here, like ore of aluminium, bauxite, ore of sodium, rock salt, ore of iron, hematite, iron pyrite. There are some more ores, like ores of calcium and magnesium, dolomite, ore of calcium, calcite, ore of mercury, it is cinnabar, not given here. Ore of copper, it is cuprite, copper glance, copper pyrite, and some more. Is it clear? Now, extraction of metal, that is metallurgy. Getting metal out of ore is called extraction of metal. The various steps involved in the extraction of metal from its ore, followed by refining of metal, is called metallurgy. Three steps involved are concentration of ore or enrichment of ore, reduction to metal, refining of metal, that is purification of metal. The first step is concentration of ore or enrichment of ore. It is the removal of gangue from the ore by different methods. Gangue. What do you mean by gangue? It is the impurity present in the ore like rock particles, sand particles, clay particle, etc. That is a large amount of earthy and sandy impurities present along with ore when it is obtained from mining from ground is called gangue. Okay, now come to the concentration of ore once again. So what is concentration of ore? It is the removal of this gangue impurities from the ore by different methods, and the method is usually based on the difference in some physical or chemical properties of the gangue and the ore. Some of these methods are gravity or hydraulic separation, froth flotation process, usually applied for sulfide ores, magnetic separation, applied to those ores which contain magnetic material in it, and a non-magnetic material. Chemical separation, that is leaching, especially for aluminium or bauxite. Clear? Now, extraction. Before taking up the extraction, let us see how does reactivity affect extraction. The reactivity of a metal determines how it is extracted. Metals above carbon in the reactivity series must be extracted using electrolysis because they are very reactive. So they are being extracted using electrolysis. The method is called electrolytic reduction. Electrolysis can also be used to purify copper. This we will study later on, where we will see the purification of copper using electrolytic refining method. Clear? Metals less reactive than carbon can be extracted from their ores by reduction using carbon, coke, or charcoal, or any suitable reagent like aluminium, etc. Platinum, gold, silver, and copper can occur in native, free, or elemental state and do not need to be extracted. Clear? Now, extraction of metal from the concentrated ore depends upon the nature of metal and its reactivity. We will take up the extraction of metals low in the reactivity series. This include copper, mercury, silver, platinum, gold. Low reactive metal oxides can be reduced to metal by the action of heat alone, whereas the common ore of this low reactive metals are sulfides. So, to obtain metal from their sulfide ore, roasting is done. Means heating ore strongly in presence of excess of air. As a result, metal sulfide is converted into metal oxide, which on further heating is reduced to metal. You can see the example: mercuric sulfide, when treated with oxygen, forms mercuric oxide and sulfur dioxide is released. Mercuric oxide on further heating produces mercury and oxygen gas is released. Similarly, copper glance, when treated with oxygen, that is roasted with oxygen in presence of excess of air, on strong heating turns into cuprous oxide and sulfur dioxide gas is released. In the second step, cuprous oxide on further reaction with copper glance forms copper and sulfur dioxide gas is released. Clear? Now, extraction of metal in the middle of the reactivity series. This include iron, zinc, lead, copper, etc. These metals exist as oxides, sulfides, or carbonates. It is easier to obtain metal from the oxide than from their sulfide or carbonate. So, it is easier to reduce oxides than sulfides. Therefore, sulfides or carbonate ores are first converted to metal oxides. Steps involve roasting and calcination. Roasting applied for sulfide ore. It is the process of heating the ore strongly in the presence of excess of air. Zinc sulfide, an ore of zinc called zinc blende, when treated with oxygen, or we can say roasted with oxygen in presence of excess of air on strong heating, produces zinc oxide and releases sulfur dioxide gas. Calcination for carbonate ore. It is the process of heating the ore strongly in the absence or limited supply of air. You can see the example: zinc carbonate, an ore of zinc called calamine, when heated in absence or limited supply of air, gives zinc oxide and releases carbon dioxide. Now students, reduction of the metal oxide to metal, heating alone is not sufficient to reduce moderately reactive metal oxide to metal. Therefore, such oxides are reduced by using suitable reducing agents like carbon, that is form is coke, or through displacement reaction done by using highly reactive metal. Let us take the first step where the reduction is done by heating with carbon or coke. Coke combines with oxygen of the metal oxide to form carbon monoxide. You can see the example, zinc oxide when treated with reducing agent coke on heating gives zinc and carbon monoxide. Reduction of metal oxide by heating with coke is called smelting. So this process is called smelting. Clear? Now, reduction can also be done by heating with highly reactive metal. Oxides of certain metal like manganese dioxide, chromium oxide, ferric oxide, etc. cannot be reduced by heating with carbon. These oxides are easily reduced by more reactive metal, aluminium. That means they show displacement reaction. And the reaction is highly exothermic, and the heat evolved is so high that the metal is obtained in the molten state. For example, 3 molecules of manganese dioxide when treated with 4 molecules of aluminium gives 3 molecules of manganese in molten state and 2 molecules of aluminium oxide. Student, do the correction. Uh, the reaction is not correctly balanced here. Okay, so do the correction. You write here 3 and here you make it 2. Okay. Now, similarly, chromium oxide, when treated with aluminium powder, gives chromium in molten state along with aluminium oxide in solid state. One more important reaction is the reaction of iron oxide. When iron oxide is heated with aluminium powder, this mixture is first ignited by inserting a magnesium ribbon and then burning it. So, when the iron oxide is heated with aluminium powder, the heat evolved melts the iron. The reaction is Fe2O3 plus 2Al ignited to give Al2O3 in solid state and 2Fe along with heat. This reaction has a special name called thermite reaction. It is used for welding broken part of iron machinery, railway tracks, etc. Remember students, the reduction of metal oxide to metal using aluminium as a reducing agent is called aluminothermy. Is it clear? You can see the picture of thermite weld where the mixture of iron oxide and aluminium is reacted to obtain large quantity of heat to weld the broken railway parts. Is it clear? Extraction of metal at the top of the reactivity series. This include potassium, calcium, sodium, magnesium, and aluminium. High reactive metal oxides cannot be obtained by reduction with carbon or aluminium because these metals have greater affinity for oxygen. Hence, their oxides are more stable. If heated at very high temperature with carbon, it forms carbide. Still, metal is not obtained. So it is not even reduced by using carbon. So therefore, these metals are obtained by the electrolysis of their molten or fused oxides or chlorides. And the method is known as electrolytic reduction. Clear students? Sodium, magnesium, calcium are obtained from their molten chlorides, whereas aluminium is obtained from their oxides. Now you can see the example here, electrolysis of molten NaCl. When electricity is passed through sodium chloride melt, that is fused state, sodium ions go to the cathode, whereas chloride ions will move at anode. So what the reaction is taking place at cathode? Sodium ions taking up electron, that is getting reduced to sodium and deposited at cathode, whereas anode chloride ions will lose the electron, form chlorine gas, and will be liberated at anode. Sodium metal is obtained at cathode and chlorine gas is liberated at anode. Similarly, electrolysis of molten alumina is done. It is very stable compound and it gives Al3 plus and O2 minus ions. Melting point of alumina is very high, so it is dissolved in molten cryolite, that is Na3Alf6. The mixture has a much lower melting point and a better conductor of electricity. Clear, student? So one more example is the electrolysis of molten alumina. There, aluminium is deposited at cathode and oxygen is liberated at anode. Is it clear? Now, refining of impure metal. Metal obtained after reduction is a crude metal. The process of purifying impure metal is called refining. The method is called electrolytic refining, which depends upon the nature of metal and the impurities. Examples of metal purified by this way, by this method, are copper, silver, gold, nickel, chromium, zinc, aluminium, tin, lead, etc. This method includes thick impure metal as anode connected to the positive terminal of battery, and thin pure metal as cathode connected to the negative terminal of the battery, and a solution of metal salt as electrolyte. When electricity is passed through electrolyte, pure metal from anode passes into the solution, that is electrolyte, in the form of metal ions, and an equal amount of metal ions from the electrolyte are deposited as pure metal on cathode. Is it clear, students? The soluble impurities passes into the solution, that is electrolyte, whereas the insoluble impurities fall below anode as anode mud or anode sludge. As the electrolysis proceeds, the size of the anode keeps on decreasing, that is, it becomes thinner, and the cathode keeps on increasing, that is, it becomes thicker. Let us see the example of electrolytic refining of copper. A thick block of impure copper is made anode and a thin plate of pure copper is made cathode. A solution of copper sulfate acidified with dilute H2SO4 is taken as electrolyte. On passing electricity, pure copper from anode passes into the electrolyte as Cu2 plus ions. An equivalent amount of Cu2 plus ions from electrolyte are deposited on cathode as pure copper. So at an anode, Cu turns changes into Cu2 plus, losing 2 electrons. At cathode, Cu2 plus takes up 2 electron and turns into Cu. Is it clear? Now, as the electrolysis proceeds, anode becomes thinner, whereas cathode becomes thicker. Among impurities like iron, gold, silver, iron being more reactive than copper, get oxidized to Fe2 plus and remain in the electrolyte, whereas the impurities like silver and gold, being less reactive than copper, do not undergo oxidation and fall below anode as anode mud in native state. Advantage of this method is not only to get the pure metal, but also it gives the precious metal like gold and silver in native state. For more clearance, please view this clip.
Electrolytic refining of copper. Electrolytic refining is a process of obtaining pure metal by the process of electrolysis. In this method, an electric current is passed through a solution called electrolyte that contains dissolved metal ions. This causes the dissolved metal ions to deposit onto the negatively charged cathode. Let's see how pure copper is obtained by this process. Take an impure copper rod as anode and a thin sheet of pure copper as cathode in an electrolytic cell containing an acidified solution of copper sulfate as electrolyte. When you pass an electric current through the electrolyte, you can observe that copper from the impure copper anode gets dissolved in the solution as Cu2 plus ions. These ions get reduced to copper at the cathode and get deposited on it. On the other hand, the sulfate ions migrate to the impure copper anode and combine with it to form copper sulfate, which goes to the electrolyte. Alternatively, the less electropositive impurities settle down as anode mud. The reactions involved in this process are shown here. That is, the Cu2 plus ions from the electrolyte reduce and deposit Cu at the cathode. Similarly, at anode, the Cu from impure anode oxidizes and forms Cu2 plus ion. Electrolytic refining of copper. Electrolytic refining is a process of obtaining pure metal by
Now let us pay the attention to the summary of the steps involved in the extraction of metal from their ores. You can see the student ore of high reactivity undergo electrolysis uh, of molten ore to get the pure metal. Similarly, metals of medium reactivity, they exist in the form of carbonate, sulfide. They even exist as oxides of metal. So carbonate, they undergo calcination. Sulfides undergo roasting and then converted to oxides of metal. Further reduction to metal, and lastly refining is done. In case of metals of low reactivity, sulfide ore uh, exist. That means the metals of low reactivity exist in the form of sulfide ore as well as oxides. In case of sulfide ore, they are being first roasted and then we get the metal and then the refining is done. Whereas in case of oxide ore, it is simply heated to get the metal and then refining. Is it clear? It is the summary of the steps involved in the extraction of metal from their ores. Now, let us talk about corrosion. This topic we have already discussed in chapter 1. So, from there, students, you will put down the all the details. Here, we will take up only the brief of this topic. Okay. Corrosion is the damage caused to the metal due to the reaction of metal with oxygen, moisture, carbon dioxide, etc. Examples are formation of brown coating of rust over iron. Similarly, formation of green coating of basic copper carbonate over copper. Formation of black coating of silver sulfide over silver. Now, the conditions required for rusting of iron. To show that air and moisture is necessary. So, we have taken three test tubes where in the first, the arendane and anhydrous calcium chloride, which is a drying agent, is used here. In second, boiled water with a oil at the top. And in the third case, simple tap water and nail is used. Okay. Now in the three out of three of the case, third one will catch rust quickly. Why? Because there is presence of oxygen, that is air, as well as moisture, that is water vapor. Clear? In the second case, because the water is boiled, so there is no dissolved oxygen. Moreover, the oxygen contact is also cut off by the dropping of this oil. Okay, this oil at the top of the water will cut off the supply of oxygen from this water. And in first case, as calcium anhydrous calcium chloride is a drying agent, so it will absorb all the moisture, keeping the test tube dry. As a result, rusting will not take place quickly. It will take much more time to get rusted. Clear? Prevention of corrosion. Corrosion of metal can be prevented by applying oil or grease, by applying paint, by galvanization, that is coating with zinc, by tinning, that is coating with tin, by electroplating, or also called chrome plating, and by alloying. Remember, student, once again I am explaining the details of corrosion has already been discussed in first chapter. So you will note down the points from that part only. Here I have discussed in brief. Now come to alloy. Alloys is an homogeneous mixture of two or more metals and a metal and a non-metal. Okay, it is an homogeneous mixture of two or more metal and a metal with a non-metal. Now, preparation. Primary metal is first melted and then other metals are dissolved in it in a definite proportion and then cooled to room temperature. Types of alloys. Ferrous alloys are there, non-ferrous alloys and amalgams. Objective of alloying. What is the main objective of alloying? To improve the properties of metal, to increase hardness. For example, steel. Iron, when mixed with carbon, forms steel which is hard. Iron itself is soft and stretchable. Next one, to increase the tensile strength. Third, to increase the resistance to corrosion. For example, stainless steel. Iron, when mixed with nickel and chromium, do not undergo corrosion. uh, to lower melting point. For example, solder, where lead is mixed with tin and it is used for welding electric wire. To modify chemical reactivity, to reduce electrical conductivity. For example, brass and copper. Their main element is copper. Copper itself is very good conductor, but brass and bronze are very little in their electrical conductivity. To produce good casting, to modify color. Alloying of gold. Purity of gold is expressed in carats. Pure gold is 24 carat and it is soft and therefore not suitable for making jewelry. To make it hard, it is alloyed either with copper or silver. 22 karat gold, which is usually used for making ornaments, means 22 parts of uh, pure gold is alloyed with 2 parts of copper or silver. Is it clear? Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next class. Watch this video also for more clarification.
Metallurgy. The various steps involved in extraction of metals from their ores and refining them for use is called metallurgy. The various steps involved in the extraction of metals are concentration of the ore, conversion of the concentrated ore into metal oxide, reduction of the metal oxide to metal, and refining of the metal. Metallurgy is the process of extracting metal in a pure state on a large scale from its ore by physical or chemical means. Physical means include crushing and concentration. Chemical methods include roasting, calcinations, reduction, and refining. Concentration of ore. The process of removal of impurities from the ore is called concentration of ore. There are various methods employed for the concentration of ore depending upon the nature of the ore and the nature of the impurities present. For concentration, the ore is first crushed in jaw crushers and then finely powdered. The powdered ore is concentrated by a suitable method. The various physical and chemical methods of concentration of ore are hydraulic washing, gravity separation, froth flotation, magnetic separation, chemical separation, or leaching. Hydraulic washing, gravity separation. This method is used where the gangue particles are lighter than the pure ore particles. In this method, when the powdered ore is treated with a stream of running water, the light gangue particles are washed away and the heavier ore particles are left behind. For example, the ore of tin cassiterite SnO2 is purified by this method. Froth flotation. This method is based on the preferential wetting of the ore by oil and gangue by water. It is used for the concentration of sulfide ores which are lighter than gangue. In this process, the finely powdered ore is mixed with water in a large tank. A small amount of oil, example pine oil, and a froth producing reagent, example amyl xanthate, are added to it. Sulfide ores are wetted by pine oil and gangue particles by water. The whole mixture is agitated violently by passing air through it, and froth is produced. The froth is skimmed off, washed, and dried. The gangue particles, being heavier, sink to the bottom of the tank. Magnetic separation. When either the ore particles or the impurities are magnetic, they can be separated by means of a magnetic separator. The finely powdered ore is dropped over a magnetic belt which passes over the magnetic ruler. Example, rutile TiO2 is concentrated by this method. Leaching. In this method, the powdered ore is treated with a suitable solvent in which the ore particles alone dissolve and the impurities are left undissolved and can be removed by filtration. Bauxite is purified by leaching with caustic soda. Conversion of concentrated ore into suitable form. After concentration, the ore is generally subjected to calcination and roasting depending upon the nature of the ore. During calcinations and roasting, the ore changes into oxide. Reduction of metals. The process of obtaining metals from their compounds is called reduction. Metals low in the reactivity series can be obtained first by heating their compounds. Reduction by heating, reduction with carbon, reduction with aluminium, reduction with magnesium, reduction with hydrogen, electrolytic reduction, reduction by heat. Some less electropositive metals can be directly obtained by roasting their sulfide ores, followed by distillation. Example, mercury can be obtained by roasting cinnabar. HGS, cinnabar, plus O2, oxygen, gives Hg, mercury, and SO2, sulfur dioxide. Reduction with carbon. The process of reduction of compounds with carbon is known as smelting. In this process, the roasted or calcined ore is mixed with suitable quantity of coke or charcoal and it is heated to a high temperature above melting point. During the reduction, an additional reagent is added to the ore. This additional reagent is called flux. Flux combines with the impurities to form a fusible product called slag. Metals like zinc, iron, tin, lead, etc. are extracted by this method. For example, tin stone SnO2 is reduced by coke. Tin oxide SnO2 plus carbon 2C gives tin Sn plus carbon monoxide 2CO. Coke is an important reducing agent in metallurgical processes because of the following reasons. It can reduce majority of oxides. It is cheap and abundantly available. Reduction with aluminium thermite process. Reduction with aluminium. Certain metal oxides such as chromium oxide and manganese dioxide are not easily reduced with carbon. In such cases, aluminium is used as reducing agent because it is more electropositive than chromium or manganese. The process of reduction of oxides with aluminium is called aluminothermy. Example, Cr2O3 chromium oxide plus 2Al aluminium gives Al2O3 aluminium oxide plus 2Cr chromium. Reduction with magnesium. Sometimes magnesium can reduce compounds. Example, titanium tetrachloride is reduced by magnesium to form magnesium chloride and titanium. Titanium tetrachloride TiCl4 plus 2Mg magnesium gives 2MgCl2 magnesium chloride plus Ti titanium. Reduction with hydrogen. Reaction with hydrogen. Hydrogen is very efficient reducing agent. The roasted ore is heated in small trays in the current of hydrogen gas. WO3 plus 3H2 gives W plus 3H2O. Tungsten oxide, when heated in the current of hydrogen gas, gives tungsten and water. Electrolytic reduction. Strong electropositive metals are extracted by the electrolysis of fused chlorides or fluorides of them. In order to obtain these metals, their salts are electrolyzed in fused state. The commonly used salts are halides. For example, sodium metal is extracted by electrolysis of molten sodium chloride. The chlorine gas is liberated at anode, the positively charged electrode, whereas sodium metal is liberated at cathode, the negatively charged electrode. The overall reaction may be represented as 2NaCl, sodium chloride, on electrolysis gives sodium Na plus chlorine Cl2.